Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of our level designer series. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how we can get our characters to die, I guess, on these death tiles right here. Okay, so as you can see here, these are my special tiles, and if I run my character over it, he dies. I'm just going to reload that, just demonstrate that a little bit further. Okay, now what I did over here is I wanted to show you that these death tiles only operate when we touch the top of it. Okay, so if we touch the side of the death tile, like that, okay, the character doesn't die, right? So how do we do this? Let's begin. So over here in Stencyl, what you'll need to do is, I assume you guys know how to create a basic layout here using regular Stencyl tiles or tiles of your own creation. Okay, so once you've created something like that, what I did was here is leave a little pit empty for wherever you want your death tiles to be. And what we're going to need to do is, rather than having our death tiles be part of our tile set that we talked about in our second tutorial, like these ones here, okay, what we'll need to do is we need to actually import them as actor types. Okay, now I would highly recommend that you create a folder here for special tiles, and that you can keep all of your tiles there just to keep them managed, as they're not actual players or actors, they're tiles. Okay, so when you create a folder, we're going to hit this create new button, and we're going to put, I'm just going to call this death tile. And I created a few animations, and so I'm going to add an animation down here, bottom left hand side, there's a plus sign. Okay, I'm just going to call this regular animation. Doesn't really matter, you can keep it as animation 0. And we're going to import our frames because mine is animated. If yours is a still image, then just add a frame because it's just one single picture. So over here, I'm going to do this one, fading tile. Okay, so this is going to be my death tile. It doesn't look like spikes, but you know, it's poisonous, it's deadly, so it's going to kill you. Right, columns, because I have 4 images in my animation, I'm going to put 4 there, and it's going to separate that out. It's going to animate it for me. Okay, and we're going to, now I can close this. Yeah, I can close this. I can close that as well. And I'm going to go back to my level design, go to my actors, and I don't know if this is updated or not, actually. Let me just close this and reopen it. Okay, I'm going to go back to my actors. Okay, I'm going to grab my death tile now. And you can just place it along here. So I'm just going to try my best to layer it. Okay, and I'm actually trying to purposely layer it a little bit below the regular tiles. Okay, if it's not a perfect fit, don't sweat it your first time. Okay, I'm just going to place 1 or 2 over here. Let's place them side by side, actually. Okay, so let's test this out first to see what happens when we place these tiles in. Okay, and I encourage you to test your game out regularly as you're working through this, just to see, you know, what's going on. What is it behaving as we expect it to do? What do we need to do? Okay, so you can see that the tiles sort of fell down and they dropped. Okay, so that's because in the default settings of our tiles, let's go and fix that up. Open that up. Okay, so go back to your dashboard, open up your death tile, and we're going to go to physics. So go over here to physics. We're just going to say they cannot move. Okay, and that way, when the character touches them, they don't get pushed around. Under properties, we're also going to create a new group. So click on edit groups. And I've created a special group here for special tile. I'll create another one with you guys. And it is a little bit laggy when you click the create new button. I'm going to call this death tile. Like that. Okay. So I want to make sure my death tiles can touch my players. Say okay to that. Okay. And then you also need to make sure you set your grouping here to the death tile here. Okay. The other thing, of course, you want to make sure is your player. Go back. make sure your player is a player. Okay. Sometimes when you import your own characters, Stencyl likes to put the default for everything as actors. So you might need to reset the groupings. Okay, so make sure your player avatar is a player group. Okay, and so what we just set up there is that all players can touch death tiles. Okay, so let's get back to our programming. So players can touch death tiles. Now, even though they can touch death tiles, we haven't created any programming code to kill it just yet. Okay, so we can do this in a few different places, but I'm going to show you guys that we're going to do this in our player code. So on the event for our player, okay, I'm going to add an event here for collision with a member of a group. Okay, so when an actor, and I'm going to say myself, so when an actor of myself hits an actor of a group, and I'm going to choose the group for death tiles. So essentially, when I touch a death tile, right, I'm going to say under properties here, kill self, okay, which means to kill myself or the player. Okay, so if we tried this right now, the player will die when he touches these tiles, okay, and he'll actually die no matter which side it touches. Okay, so I'll finish off the last bit of the tutorial and see how we can only make it die on a specific side. So here, he's dead. Remove that. Okay, he dies there as well. Okay, when he touches the bottom. Okay, and he'll die when he touches the side. Okay, and you can see the tiles moving a little bit, even though it wasn't supposed to be movable. So there's one last thing that we could do. Let's make it a sensor as well. So technically it can't be moved. So that's all good. Okay, now we're going to add one more little bit here. We're going to go to flow, and we're going to drag an if out here. We're going to go to collisions. Okay, so flow, drag the if, collisions. We're going to grab the top of the actor. Okay, so the way this actually goes is this. There are two options here, actor 1 and actor 2. And that's actually what these little parts refer to, okay? The first actor is always the first thing in this sort of if here. Okay, so actor 1 refers to self, actor 2 refers to death tile. So if we read this, if the top of something was hit, and so if you think about that, if the top of our death tile was hit, then we kill ourselves. Okay, and of course you can use any of the other sides here as you like to get different types of collision detection. So let's just see how this works. Okay, this should behave as we expect. And that should pretty much wrap up this tutorial. Okay, so again, touch the top. Oh, things falling right through that. It's not dying. Try this again. Let's go right through. Okay, because I made a sensor, of course, that's why. Okay, I can't actually do that. Okay, so you go back to death tile. Do not make it a sensor, because otherwise he just goes right through it. Let's try that again. Okay, but physics, it should be that it cannot be pushed or cannot be moved. Okay, that's the physics for your death tile. Okay, let's try that again. Let's jump onto a death tile. Yay, he's dead. And let's go again. Let's try to bounce off of it. Okay, so that's looking good. Okay, side, he's not dying. That's good. Okay, it's slightly pushing the death tile. Let's see if we can jump on top of it. Nope, we're a little bit too. Ooh, we're floating. Nope. That was just a hitbox of my character being too big. Okay, so that's pretty much it, folks. Play around with that a little bit more yourself. I'm just going to move these tiles down so that my character can jump on top of it, and hopefully test and prove to myself that this actually does work, that when we touch the top, he dies. Of course, it worked for those 4 tiles there, so there should be no reason it doesn't work for these ones here as well. Okay, so let's jump on top, and he's dead. All right, that's it. That's a death tile. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in our next tutorial.